Dear Bhante, believe, give all the yogi 3 refugees and 8 precepts. Kính mời quý thiền sinh chúng ta cùng nhau tụng câu Nam Mô Tát Xá 3 lần trước khi mình thọ 8 giới ạ. Nam Mô Tát Xá Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Nam Mô Tát Xá Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Nam Mô Tát Xá Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tisaranagamanaṃ paripurnaṃ.
Amabhante.
Pāṇātipada vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Pāṇātipada vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Adinādāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Adinādāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Abrahmacharya vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Abrahmacharya vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Musāvādā vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Musāvādā vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Surameraya majjapamadaṭṭhāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Surameraya Majjapamadaṭṭhāna เวระมณีสิกขาบาดังสัมมาดิยามิ
วิกาลโภชนาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
วิกาลโภชนาเวระมณีสิกขาบาดังสัมมาดิยามิ
นัจจา
นาจา
กีตา
กีตาว
าดิตาว
าดิตา
วิสุขดัสสนา
วิสุกาดัสสนา
มาลากันดา
มาลากันทา
วิเลปนา
วิเลบานา
ดารณา
ดารณา
มันดนา
มันดานา
วิบูสนัฏฐานา
วิปุสนาธานา
เวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
เวระมณีสิกขาบาดังสัมมาดิยามิ
อุจจาสยนา
อุจจาสยนาม
หาสยนาม
หาสยนา
เวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิ
เวระมณีสิกขาบาดังสัมมาดิยามิ
ติสรณเนนะสหอัตถังกสมณากตังอุโปสถสีลังธัมมังสาธุกังสุรคิตังกตวาอัปปมาเดนะสัมปาติธา
อามาพันเต Dear Bhante, with compassion, believe, give us a Dhamma talk for tonight.
Today is 28th of December 2024. Yesterday I talked about the development of concentration, how the concentration develops when mindfulness gets momentum. When mindfulness gets momentum, then that mindfulness permits to develop concentration, especially when mindfulness is present and mindfulness continuously protects the mind. Mind become free from kilesas, no rooms for kilesas. And because being free from kilesas, when rapture, mental bliss arise, calmness arise, then that also permits the kilesa concentration to arise. So that is what I talked yesterday about the development of samadhi concentration. I also talk about the Khanika Samadhi, or this Samadhi is called as Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. And this momentary concentration dispels the kilesas momentarily. Or we can also say that this Samadhi dispels the obsessive kilesas. Obsessive kilesas, we call it in Pali as Parivuttana kilesa. There are three kinds of kilesas. Number one is Vitikkama kilesa. I repeat, Vitikkama kilesa, transgressive kilesa. Second is Parivuttana kilesa, obsessive kilesa or defilement. And the third one is Anusaya kilesa, latent kilesas or embedded kilesa or defilement. To understand, before explaining the three types of kilesas, first it is better to know about the kilesa. What is kilesa? What is defilement? Why it is called as kilesa? So definitions are given in text. Definitions are given. The very first definition for kilesa is kilesas. In fact, there are 10 kind of kilesas. So kilesas are those which defile our mind, which pollute our mind, which make our mind impure, unclean, so-called kilesa. As kilesa, defilements make the mind impure, polluted, defiled, then that person also become polluted, dirty. No matter how good, how modern clothes or the dresses he or she puts on, no matter how many cosmetics or the perfumes he or she use, but still he or she remains dirty because of defilements. For example, if he or she is getting very angry, nobody wants to get close to him because of his dirtiness, because his impureness. Everybody disgusts who is angry enough, who is so much greedy, who is so much jealous, who has so many envious mind, who are so much proud. People hardly want to get close to him or her because he or she is polluted by mind. So people discuss such a person. So in this way, kilesa make the even person polluted, defiled, dirty. Especially noble or wise people do not want to get close to him or her, because noble or the wise people know that how disgusting he or she who is endowed with kilesas, who has so many upset by the kilesas. It is compared with the bodily waste, feces. kilesas are as dirty as disgusting as feces. Nobody wants to get close to feces. That is why if you want to be beautiful, if you want to be clean, if we want to be pure, first we have to clean our mind. First we have to purify our mind. Then we become very beautiful. If mind is clean, pure, then it reflects on face as well. If mind is dirty, impure, it reflects on face, because in our body there are so many physicalities which develops, which occur due to the mind. So mind-made physicalities are there. So many physicalities are there. For example, when we get angry, so how the face changes. As a person become angry, his face become even red. His body start to shake or tremble because of mind-made physicalities. So this is the first meaning of defilements. Defilements are those which pollute or defile the mind. The second meaning is defilements are those which torture the mind. So when kilesas are present, and so they torture our mind. Our mind become tortured, tormented. And the third meaning is kilesas are those which heat up or which burn up the mind. That is why when kilesas are present, we don't feel coolness, calmness. Our mind become heated, so do body. Our body also become heated because of presence of kilesas in our mind stream. It is compared with the fire again. So kilesas are as hot as fire, even in fact more hot than fire. We often talk about the global warming. Scientists nowadays, people often talk about global warming. The main cause of global warming is kilesas. The fourth meaning of kilesas is those who make our mind exhausted, tired. So that's why sometimes we feel so fatigued. We feel so exhausted. We are doing nothing but still internally we feel so tired, exhausted when kilesas are present. In this way, definitions of kilesas are mentioned in the text. And again, we can say kilesas are those which make our mind fickle, wavering, shaking. Kilesas are those which, because of which we devoid the calmness, peacefulness of the mind. Kilesas are those which make our mind suffocated, So all the problems, all the sufferings are caused by the kilesas. And again, kilesas are those which make our mind weak. Because of kilesas, our mind is weak enough. So these are the definition of the kilesas, and as I have just mentioned, there are 3 types of kilesas. Number 1 is transgressive kilesa, vitikama kilesa. Vitikama kilesa are those which manifest bodily, verbally. When we transgress unwholesome actions, bodily, verbally, at that time transgressive kilesas are present. So simply, vitikama kilesas manifest bodily, verbally. When we perform unwholesome action by body and speech, we can dispel vitikama kilesa by practicing morality training, by practicing sila. Minimum when we practice 5 precepts, or more than that if we practice 8 precepts, 9 precepts, like nuns, novices, monks, when they practice their relevant moralities, then at that time we can dispel the vitikama kilesas, because when we practice morality, we refrain from doing unwholesome actions by body and speech. We control our body and speech. We put in limit in our body and speech. So by practicing morality, sila training, we can dispel the vitikama kilesas. Second is pariyutthana kilesa. Pariyutthana kilesa. Pariyutthana kilesa means obsessive kilesas. Pariyutthana kilesas do not manifest by body and speech. They manifest only in mind. Bodily, verbally, we may not be committing unwholesome actions. Bodily, verbally, we may not be boasting our kilesas, but mentally, we might be committing unwholesome actions by thinking, by planning, by daydreaming and so on. So mentally, we might be committing unwholesome deeds, or maybe kilesas might be bursting in our mind. Kilesas might be popping up in our mind. So those kind of kilesas, defilements, are called as pariyutthana kilesa. Right now we are practicing meditation. We have morality, so we don't do unwholesome actions by body and speech. We try to observe presently arising object in order to not to give chance to arise kilesas in our mind, but still at times kilesas arise. While sitting, when unpleasant sensations are there, anger arises. When pleasant sensations are there, then greed might arise. So at that time, those kilesas are obsessive kilesas. When these obsessive defilements explode or blast, they may turn into the transgressive kilesas. When we can't put these obsessive kilesas only in our mind, and when they blast out, when they explode out, then body and speech might commit bodily action, verbal action. Then they transform into transgressive kilesas. Sila, morality, can't dispel obsessive kilesas. Just right now I mentioned we have sila, we are practicing morality, but still obsessive kilesas keep arising in our mind because sila can't do anything, sila can't dispel. So what we need now, we need the second training, that is samadhi training. The concentration is needed in order to dispel obsessive kilesas. So this is what I am talking about when we develop concentration. When we develop concentration, we dispel the kilesas, means we dispel obsessive kilesas. The third kilesas are anusaya kilesa, latent kilesa, or embedded from numerous life, from unknown beginning. So they are embedded, and they have been embedding in our mind stream. So they are called anusaya kilesas. We can't see, but when relevant circumstance or conditions meet, then they arise or they occur. To understand these three types of kilesas, there is an example. So that example is about the a matchbox. So we have seen the matchbox and the matchsticks. And matchstick, there is a lump of sulfur. At the edge of matchstick, there is lump of sulfur, and on matchbox as well. So we can't see the fire until we strike the matchstick over the matchbox. As soon as we strike matchstick over matchbox, then fire starts on matchstick. So the fire that we can't see until we strike, or the fire which exists on the lump of sulfur, is compared as anusaya kilesa. Can't see, but there is. As I just mentioned, they are there. As I just mentioned, if relevant condition meets, then they arise. Similarly here, when we strike, that is the relevant condition, meeting of the relevant condition. So fire starts. So that fire on the majestic is like obsessive kilesa. And when that fire catches this and that, so the things, then it is like transgressive kilesas. So the fire in the sulfur, which we can't see, is like anusaya, latent kilesas, defilements. When we strike, when fire starts on majestic, the fire on the majestic is like obsessive kilesa. When that fire catches other things, when it burns these and that things and destroys, that is like transgressive kilesas. Another example is a man is sleeping. So when he is sleeping, that is like anusaya kilesa. When he wakes up, so that is like obsessive kilesa. And when he does this and that, when he commits the actions, that is like transgressive kilesa. So in this way, latent kilesas are those which are embedded in our mind stream. We can't see, but when relevant conditions meet, they arise. So to dispel those kilesas, again, samadhi is not enough. Now samadhi is not sufficient to dispel anusaya kilesas. Now we need knowledge. Vipassana knowledges are needed in order to dispel anusaya kilesas. Of course, we will talk more about how the Vipassana knowledges will dispel the anusaya kilesas, maybe tomorrow. Today we are talking about the samadhi. Samadhi dispels the obsessive pariyuttana kilesas. Samadhi is non-dispersing mental factor. It is non-dissipating mental factor, non-scattering mental factor.
Bhante, can you repeat the...
Samadhi concentration is non-dispersing. Dispersing means not scattering or not dissipating mental factor. So samadhi unifies or collects all the mind and mentalities into one object. So all the mind and mentalities become well collected, well unified into an object. So that is its function, its duty. So that's why when samadhi is there, concentration is there, our mind is well collected to the meditative object. Our mind is well unified to the meditative object. Mind hardly wanders. At that moment, mind does not wander. Mind does not goes here and there. Restlessness is not there at that moment. Whenever we talk about the mind does not arises or occurs by itself. Relevant number. Relevant co-arising mental factors arise together, or always a good amount of mental factors are always arise along with mind. Whenever we talk about the mind, mind is not alone. Mental factors also arise together with mind. So that's why when concentration is there, samadhi is there, it collects, it unifies all the mind and the mental factors into an object. That's why the manifestation of the concentration is calmness. When concentration collects or unifies all the mind and mental factors into an object, and when mind and mental factors are not wandering anywhere, not dispersing anywhere, not scattering, no restlessness at that moment, then yogis feel or yogis experience calmness. So that is the manifestation. Calmness is the manifestation of the concentration. In this way, when concentration collects, unifies into an object, and when yogis, at the time yogis feel calmness, oh, what a calmness! Especially when mind is free from hindrances. When concentration is present at that time, hindrances have no chance to disturb in our mind stream. So that is also why calmness is there, tranquility is there, serenity is there. I just mentioned about the hindrances. We call them as nivarana in Pali, nivarana. So nivarnas or hindrances are those which hinder in our practice, which block our practice, which do not let yogis to improve in meditation. So those are called hindrances. And they are 5 in kind. First one is kama chanda, the sensuous desire. We have already talked about the kama vitaka, so it is quite similar to kama chanda. Kama chanda, sensuous desire, the desiring mentality to the sensuous objects. Sensuous object or attachment to the sensuous object is called as kama chanda, sensuous desire. Second is vyapada, ill will or aversion, anger related. When mind is associated with anger, hatred, or grudge, or remorse, mostly vyapada is there, destructive mentality. And third one is thina midda, sloth and torpor. And yogis are quite familiar with this hindrance, sloth and torpor. It manifests as sleepiness. The fourth one is Uddhacca kukutsa. Uddhacca kukutsa. Uddhacca means restlessness and kukutsa means remorse or guilty feeling. Guilty feeling for those actions that we have performed in the past. So there are two kinds of remorse. Feeling guilty for those actions that we failed to do. There was the condition in the past to do wholesome deed, but we failed to do. At that time also we feel guilty. And another one is feeling guilty for unwholesome actions that we have performed in the past. So that is remorse, guilty feeling, and the fifth one is vicikitsa, doubt. So these are the 5 hindrances which hinder in our practice, which block in progress of our practice, which do not let us to improve in our practice. So when we develop the continuous mindfulness and continuous concentration, these hindrances have no chance to arise. So in this way, when mind is free from hindrances also, when mind is free from other unwholesome mentalities, so at that time mind is quite pure, mind is quite clean. So in this way, by dispelling unwholesome mentalities, by purifying mind, through the development of the concentration, then automatically the realities become obvious. Realities become obvious. Automatically mind starts to discover the natures that exist in body and mind. When we look at the mirror, if mirror is clean enough, no dirties, then we can see our face as it is, as it exists. So similarly, when mind becomes pure, mind becomes clean, no dirties are there, no pollutions are there, then the natures of the physicalities, natures of the mentalities reflect by themselves, or we come to see the reality. We come to discover, or we come to discern the realities of physicalities and the mentalities. Seeing, discerning, exploring, discovering the true natures of the physicalities and the mentalities are called as wisdom knowledge, because automatically mind discovers as they exist. As they exist, mind discovers the true natures. And this is how, through the development of the concentration, we can develop wisdom knowledge. Mindfulness permits concentration to develop. Concentration permits the wisdom to develop. So that is why we just need to develop a good mindfulness. If we develop good mindfulness And if we try our best to develop continuously, if we develop unbroken mindfulness, then automatically concentration develops. Then after, automatically wisdom develops. And that knowledge, that wisdom will dispel the anusaya kilesas that we have just mentioned. So concentration can't do anything to the anusaya kilesas. Like sila can't do anything. Sila can't dispel obsessive kilesas. Similarly, samadhi can't dispel anusaya kilesas. We need wisdom to eliminate the anusaya kilesas. So tomorrow we will talk more about the knowledge, and we will also talk what kind of knowledge is, what kind of vipassana knowledge is we develop through practice. We will talk more in detail about knowledge tomorrow. So for today, as mindfulness deepens, then concentration develops, and when concentration develops, mind becomes well collected to the meditative object. Mind becomes well unified. Mind and mentalities become well unified to the meditative object. If we develop continuously, one after another, then mind has no chance to disperse here and there. It becomes one, there will be one pointiness, and when there is no dispersing, no scattering of the mind, when mind is well collected, unified to the object, then mind is very calm and tranquility is there, serenity is there. So that's why by development of the concentration, may you be able to enjoy such a good calmness, collectedness, tranquility, serenity. Especially may you be able to develop wisdom through concentration.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Imaya Dhammano Dhammapatipattiya Buddhaṃ Pujami. Imaya Dhammano Dhammapatipattiya Dhammang Pujami. Imaya Dhammano Dhammapatipattiya Sangham Pujami. Imaya Dhammano Dhammapatipattiya Mata Pitaro Pujami. Imaya Dhammano Dhammapatipattiya Acariya Pujami. Adaimaya Patipadaya Jara Maranama lang magga phalanyana Patsayotu Imano